2.5 years before the birth of Christ, in the golden age of ancient kingdoms, there stood a palace that seemed to defy imagination. The great palace of the Queen of Sheba rose from the land like a promise, where wealth met wisdom, and ceremony met secret learning. In the heart of her vast empire, Sheba ruled not only with authority, but with a curiosity and knowledge that stretched beyond trade and conquest. Her throne room read like a hymn to fortune, walls inset with precious stones that caught and held candlelight, floors of polished marble that mirrored the slow dance of oil lamps, and tapestries that unrolled the stories of victories both earthly and spiritual. Incense drifted in measured spirals, blending with the scent of sandalwood and myrrh. Yet on this evening, as the sun lowered itself behind distant dunes and painted the hall in molten gold, something troubled the great queen. She sat upon her throne of ivory from Angola, a masterpiece carved by the kingdom's finest artisans, and seemed wrapped in thought, as if the whole world had narrowed to the single point of her contemplation. Her robes flowed like liquid jewels, royal blue silk deep as midnight pools, purple that spoke of imperial mantle, scarlet that burned with prophetic fire, and cloth of gold that shimmered with an almost living light. Every fold, every embroidered motif of palm and star, whispered the lineage of kings and merchants who had sworn her fealty. Yet despite this outward splendor, Queen Sheba brooded. Her dark eyes, lined with the recent weight of sleepless nights, gazed toward distant horizons only she could see. She possessed a rare gift, foresight that threaded through dreams and star maps alike. Sometimes a vision would arrive like a storm, sudden and exact, revealing faces, names, or a child wrapped in uncommon light. Other times it came as a whisper, hinting at change. This gift set her apart, and it also set her apart from comfort. Prophecy isolates those who must carry it. In that silence, courtiers watched and wondered what future she now held so close to her heart. Her advisors waited in a hush, because when the queen fell into such deep contemplation, momentous things were being formed. They exchanged small, knowing glances, ministers who had learned to read the rhythms of her thought. What knowledge weighed so heavily upon her? What dream or star chart had shifted the compass of her realm? For months she had been visited by symbols, a bright star moving against the grain of the heavens, the image of a humble manger, and the sense of a power that would change the axis of kingship. Finally, after a long, measured pause, Queen Sheba stirred. Her voice, when it came, held the calm of one who has seen a future, and the authority of a ruler who will act upon it. "Send in the Magi," she commanded, each syllable steady, echoing through the vaulted chamber like distant thunder rolling across mountains. The sound carried conviction. There was no question it was a decree born of more than politics, but of destiny itself. This was no ordinary summons. The Magi were not mere advisors or court scholars. They were custodians of an ancient, star-schooled wisdom. Masters of celestial lore and prophecy, men who read omens in planetary paths, and who kept instruments of brass and glass to chart the heavens. In the throne room, Queen Sheba rose with an air of both regal command and sacred urgency. The great doors stood ready, draped in carved friezes and threaded with sunlight, awaiting those who would answer the call. Golden light streamed through stained apertures, making the dust motes glitter like a host of tiny stars. Her face showed the gravity of what she knew, a birth, a light in deep darkness, the promise of a king whose reign would break ordinary bounds. Servants moved swiftly, heralds ran through corridors, The palace itself seemed to hold its breath. The Magi, when they entered, would bring maps of the sky, fragments of foreign lore, and rituals honed by generations, and they would set out on a path that might alter the course of history itself.